Hello and welcome to another Arkis video into a new 2 million credit time trial challenge on Gran Turismo 7. This time we are at Grand Valley South and it's the reverse layout and we are driving the 1932 Ford Roadster on sport soft tires. The car actually handles rather nicely, but it's only got a 3-speed gearbox, so that's a thing you need to get a bit used to. To begin with, I did an hour on this to see how far I could get, and then I did a bit more because I felt like after the first hour that I could get another improvement in before doing this video, but it's still a work in progress. There's a lot of cleaning up to do and I know there's more time to find for me as well. And before we get going, if this is your first time watching and you are enjoying the content, please feel free to hit the like and subscribe button. It is highly appreciated. Now let's jump into this one. It's Thursday morning, a few minutes after 8 o'clock. The time trial has just opened. I'm picking up my prize for the Bathurst time trial and we are jumping into this one. And this is the first time ever I'm doing this layout in reverse, so I'm a bit lost. I know there is a left-hander coming out of the tunnel, but I can't see where I'm going, so I need to work on that. At least we make our way around the corner. Then we have a right-hander and I am running wide. You really need not to be too greedy coming into those corners. Now we're coming through this small tunnel and we've got another right-hander coming up. The 200 board is a good one to look at, and try to not do as I do. Try to keep your car to the right-hand side because you need some room to swing back over to the left, because that left-hander we just went through, that's crucial because now it's basically flat out coming up the hill, and if you are turning in a bit too early into the left hand part, you might end up in the wall on the right hand side, so just be aware of that. Now we are looking for the 100 board. We are braking slightly short of that, and this corner you can make it work in third gear. There's a big jump between second and third gear. I used second this time. This is a very slow time, but we made it around. Now I'm coming in way too tight. I missed my braking point and I just skid off the track, so we might as well just jump out. Only a bronze time this time, so we better get to work. The biggest challenge for me is still the corner right after the tunnel. I haven't figured out where to go yet. I have loaded a Ghost and you can see I hit the wall there, so we are trying again. You basically need to stay towards the right hand side, don't turn in too early, and as soon as you see the exit of the tunnel you can sort of straight line brake and get the car stopped. We managed to survive now, but now I am way too greedy. I am missing the right hand corner there, so that lost me a lot of time. I'm braking early enough for this one, but I am way too impatient. This corner is much tighter and now I lost all my momentum because of that poor exit of this corner, and we needed the speed up the hill. We are jumping to the final corner. Can we make it around? We are looking at the 100 board, down to second gear, a bit wobbly entry, and this is actually a bit too tight of an entry. We are up to third gear and rushing towards the line. We are down to a 122.427, and once again I am overshooting the corner after the tunnel, so we are sliding off the track and yeah. So we are restarting the lap, coming into the tunnel. I really need to be careful. I still don't really know where I'm going, so I am almost overshooting the corner coming out of the tunnel. We managed to get the car turned this time coming down the hill, and unfortunately I am still a bit too greedy, so I'm running wide here as well. That is also going to cost me some time, and wouldn't you know it, as we're coming through this corner I am being too impatient, so now I get a narrow and really poor run through that crucial corner. I'm really throwing away so much time. We are still improving, but to be honest I really should have a look at a replay by now, especially have a look at how to do this first tricky left-hand corner. And speaking of that corner, I still missed the corner, but we managed to clean up a lot of the rest of the lap. I'm not running wide as much this time. I managed to keep it towards the right hand side, get a better run out of that corner section, and also here I am being more patient, keeping the car towards the right hand side a tiny bit at least, but still getting a better run out of that corner and now coming up the hill as well. And you can see as the time is coming down that final left-hander at the bottom of the hill is really important. Now we are making our way towards the final corner, and which gear are we going to choose this time? I think I'm still using second gear, but you need to be careful not to over rev that second gear. We are going across the line in a 121.193, so that was a nice improvement. A bit wobbly coming out of the tunnel, but it's still going to be better. I'm not going to run as wide as earlier. I managed to keep the car in check, but unfortunately I get greedy on the left-hander and run wide again. So that was a lot of time thrown away there, but the lap is still alive. We are still on an improvement. So despite of those errors, we are still up on our time. Then we had a couple of poor laps, but still in this same session we are back again. And once again I am going to overshoot the first left-hander, but let's see, I'm not going to overshoot the right-hander this time. So we are picking up some time again there and getting a good run out of that section. Can I be patient around this corner? Just be patient. Yeah, that's better. And we are getting a better run out of this and up the hill as well. So now you can see the time is beginning to look a bit more healthy compared to earlier. I think, yeah, I am getting a bit close to the wall there, but we managed to get around. Now for the final corner, I am still in second gear. Don't over rev it. We are rushing across the line in 120.286, and now I am going to park the car and I am going to have a look at a replay. We've done 20 minutes now, and I need to see if I can start learning this corner. The idea is to stay towards the right hand side, turn in, get the car pointed in the right direction, and as soon as you see the tunnel exit, try to straight line brake, get the car slowed down for the corner, don't run too wide. And I'm not doing a good job at the moment, only improving a tiny bit and still messing up that corner. Certainly is challenging. Now we've got the first driver in the 118s. I'm still stuck in the 120s, so let's try to get a move on now. Coming into the tunnel, staying towards the right hand side, seeking towards the inside, getting the car pointed in the right direction, braking sort of in a straight line, coming out of the tunnel, getting the car turned. Don't overcook it, stay towards the left hand side. Now stay towards the right hand side. You really just need to plan ahead through these corners, and the same goes for this one. And this time I am going to run a bit deep, and I'm not in trouble yet, but the entry is going to be a bit narrow, and you can see I had to lift a bit on the exit, so that's going to cost some time up the hill. Let's see, we are at least keeping it within the valley limits. And now for the final corner, and this time I am going to try to exit in third gear. You really need to get the line right if that's going to work, but we tried it, and we are going across the line in a 119.758, and after a few dodgy laps we are going to improve on this lap as well. However, I am braking a bit too early, coming in a bit too narrow at the end of the tunnel, so my first corner wasn't the best, but what can we do through the following corners? At least we are getting a good line out of here. Remember to watch out for those white lines, don't go across them. I am falling behind a bit on this part, but now I'm being more patient around this corner, and I am going to get a better exit out of the left-hander coming up the hill. And now you can see the time is beginning to look healthy again. Let's get a good line through here. We are not running wide into the wall on the right hand side. Now for the final corner, is it still going to be third gear, a bit of second gear? Yeah, I'm using a bit of second gear, then up to third gear this time. I cannot figure that one out yet. We are down to 119.431, but now my concentration is fading, so I am going to park the car and let's have a look at the time. I have done around 35 minutes now, and we carry on. We are improving bit by bit. That was a better turn one this time, and we are also getting an okay line out of this part. watching out for the white lines once again. We are improving a tiny bit and we keep it going. I was actually on for a nice improvement here, but coming into the valley, I turned in a bit too early, too narrow, and now I'm just running wide towards the exit. So that was the end of that one. I have roughly 15 minutes left of my hour, and we are jumping straight to the end of my best run within the hour. That's only going to be a very small improvement. And to be honest, I felt I could do better, but as I do this mistake, we are going to have an accidental look at the lovely scenery. So that was the first hour done, a cup of coffee for me, and then we are jumping straight onto my final run in this video. We are coming into the tunnel. I'm staying towards the right hand side and need to time the turning point, getting the car pointed for a straight line braking zone, and I accidentally go all sideways. It looked cool and all, but it may be not the fastest way to do it, and also a bit wide there, so the start of the lap is a bit scruffy, but we keep it going. Now we're coming up towards this right hander looking for the 200 board. Be patient, it's a tight corner and you want to keep it tight so you can get a good run out of there. We are coming up the hill, making sure to stay a bit towards the right hand side. Don't come in too narrow towards the left hand side, because then you will end up in that wall on the right hand side. Now we've only got one corner to go. We are looking for the 100 board. Let's get a nice curve around this corner so we can get a good line out of there. I am up to third gear. I'm going for the third gear exit, and we are getting an okay run out of that final corner. And now we are just rushing towards the finish line on this long straight. This is going to be a 1:19.097. So the obvious goal for me now is to get into the 1:18s. The slightly worrying thing was that I hadn't seen either Titsney, Key, or especially Jetta on this time trial yet, so I might be in for a nasty surprise later. If I do any further improvements, I will post them in the comment section. But for now, this was my first impressions. I hope you enjoyed the video, found it entertaining, maybe even somewhat useful. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time. Bye bye.